sorry, I'm just trying to add, that's it, okay. Or on, so YouTube or Facebook, yeah, either. If you spend £25, because there's only 2 samplers and they're 8 by 8, if you spend £25 in my online store, I'm filming through StreamYard, so I've tried to put a link up, but it might not be live till after the event. Use this host code and I will know that you want the make and takes, and I will send you everything, which is why the majority of stuff is die cut and not stamped. So I'm just going to pop myself small so you can see the sampler. So that's the first one, is using soft succulent and evening evergreen and some gold and a little bit of the red glimmer paper and a tiny little bit of early espresso for the puppy. So that's number 1. And number 2, now I've just popped this in. This is an IKEA form, a ribber frame, and it's a 9 by 9. And I just wanted you to see how it fits in. I've got a reflection on my light there, sorry about that. So and this is using soft succulent, evening evergreen and cherry cobbler, and using the, now what is the designer series paper called? I have it here. It is called Lights Aglow. So if you spend £25 in my store, I think I've put by next Wednesday, then use this host code, and I will send you all the cardstock. I would die cut everything, including this is like the velour, velvet, flock, whatever you want to call it. I will send you everything to make these. So I just wanted to show you the finished projects. Let's get them up here out of the way. Okay, and so I've got everything, well, I hope I've got everything prepped. I feel like I have, but you know what it's like sometimes. I think I've done stuff and I haven't, so I may need to just die cut a couple of bits and pieces as we go. But basically you need a piece of soft succulent cardstock. I don't have the metric instructions. When I do my tutorial, when I type it up, I will put the metric, and if you get the make and takes, you will also get a written tutorial, and that will have metric and imperial measurements on it. So that's 8 by 8. Then the cherry cobbler, I want to say is, I think that's 6 1/4 by 6 1/4. So you've got the frame in the soft succulent. Then this is the Lights Aglow designer series paper, beautiful, and that is 6 by 6. So you just get a little bit of the frame from the cherry cobbler. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop those together using my Stampin' Seal Plus. Oh, I had got my dimensionals ready, but I've just thrown them on the floor. Had my boosters this morning. I had both COVID and flu, so I'm just having a tropical moment. Tropical storm Fiona, it's ironic, is out in the Atlantic at the moment. Yeah, so I'm just going to use my Stampin' Seal Plus because that will hold. It's really good and strong. You need to press quite hard, otherwise you can find that you pick up the cardstock. It's not too bad on DSP, but designer series paper, sorry. Okay, and then we're just going to have a little bit of a frame, just checking you can see what I'm doing. Yeah, so you're just going to get a little bit of the cherry cobbler around the edges, and then that, and this is where I need to press really hard to make sure I don't pull up the cardstock, and then that's going to go onto our soft succulent. Okay. So you can make these Christmassy if you want. I'm going to have it, I think it's that way. Oh, used a different one on that. Okay, and again, you just want to try and get an even frame all the way around. I mean, you could measure. I'm just eyeballing it, but I think you probably have about an inch either side. Okay, so that's my base. Then I have got that's not for this one. Oh, it is actually. I have got Evening Evergreen, Cherry Cobbler, and Cherry Cobbler Designer Series paper from the Lights Glow. Otherwise, the Designer Series paper kind of gets lost. So I'm just going to, you see that's the reverse of that with the red, but I'm actually going to use the starry side. And then it will look like a red starry sky. Okay, and again, we've got a frame in the Cherry Cobbler going around. And then I'm going to do the same thing, popping it onto the Evening Evergreen. The main thing with samplers is kind of die cutting, well with this one in particular, die cutting and gluing. That is kind of your main. It's not particularly hard, it's just repetitive. Now I'm going to leave that for a moment. That will sit down the bottom. And then I have got 2 pieces of Evening Evergreen squares, and I think these are, yeah, 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, and the Designer Series paper is 2.5 by 2.5. I'm just going to check with my sampler which, so that one, because you're going to have that, it's quite clever, but if you don't put a curtain, it looks like you can see it through the curtain, through the window on the camper van. And I'm going to have my gold stars up there. Okay, so let's just glue these down. Oh, I'm going to run out of Stampin' Seal Plus in a minute. I should have checked that before. I do apologise. I've got plenty and I have more on the way because I do go through a lot. But I mean, if you don't have to use this, you could use your wet glue. It's entirely up to you, but you do want something that's going to be kind of long lasting. Let's hope I can just get this one out before I need to change. I'll change it before we do the, should be using dimensionals going forward, and then I'll change it before the next one. Okay. So I hope you're having a lovely weekend. Beautiful day here. Sun is shining. Okay, so then we're going to just line them up. And again, these are going to go on flat because your trees and everything are going to be propped up with dimensionals. So I'm just lining them up kind of where I think I want them to be. And again, I want that Designer Series paper kind of showing in the background. That's about right. Okay, so I'm going to do this one first. That keeps that in place. There we go. And then I'll do this one. It might be that there's a bit more of a gap between no, that's working out quite good. Just need to move it so it's at the edge of the bottom one, which is 2 3/4 by I think 5 and 5 3/4. Let me just pop that on again. You need to press really hard. Oh, there we go. It's just finished. Okay, I'll just use my Stampin' Seal for the bottom and then I'll get a new one out before we do the next sample. And then line that up. Okay, and then you've got your base. So the next step is your decorating. Okay, so what I have here is I've already die cut everything just because I didn't really think you needed to sit and watch me cutting stuff out, but I will show you all the bits and pieces I have using the Tree Lots dies. This was a great celebration set. As I say, if you didn't manage to get it, I do have a set to give away, and these are what you get. All these dies, so the trees, the detailed trees, the thick trees, the caravan, the bottom and the top of the caravan, you get some lights, you get a pole. There's so much in there, it's really rich. So it's 24 basically, and I do have 2 sets to give away. So I've die cut using the gold glimmer paper, so that's my lights. Now I'm hoping that I had adhesive sheets on the back. Yes, I have, because that then makes it easy to stick down. There's my camper van in Evening Evergreen. Let's turn this down a bit. And there's my top and my bottom. I'm just going to need to cut this. Yeah, this has definitely got adhesive sheets on the back, so I just need to get it to come away from the okay, that's the top, and this is the bottom. So that will go like that. And then I have embossed all my trees with the timber embossing folder, which you don't kind of see too much detail, because you then have yeah, this is where I think I have maybe not got all my, see how many, I think I kept them back to show you how it works, but I might need to do a couple of extra ones. So whoops, 1, 2, just checking it's not on the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, now I have a little one there to show you how it works, but I am going to need to die cut 4 flock details using the adhesive sheets. That's nothing. Somewhere I've had my wreath. I saw it come out of the bag. There it is. But I'm missing. Oh, I'm missing my bow, and I wasn't going to do a curtain, so I'm just going to get those out. Hi Helen. Yes, they are like gold dust. So right, so I'm going to need the big one, and I'm going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those, and 1 medium. 1 medium, and I'm going to need my bow. There's my bow. Okay, so I've got some spare. Oh no, hang on a minute, might have enough. Right, that will replace that one, and that will, no, we still need that one. And then it just feels like velvet. It's lovely. So it's not quite straight, but what I might do is just trim this so that I can get a straight line. I've got no nails, so I can't pick things up. Right. Ow, sorry. Just throwing a candle on the floor. So This is the hardest bit for me, is getting the backing off the adhesive sheets. Nope. Okay, my camera's just fallen down. Sorry, hold on a sec. There we go. I'm having one of those days. Well, actually, it's one of those weeks. I'll be glad when today's over, because as far as I'm concerned, Sunday's a new week. There we go. So I'm just going to line that up. There. Okay, and I need a large tree. Will I get two? I might get two large trees out of that, actually. Right, bear with me. I'm just going to bring my mini stamp and cut and emboss machine into place. Now, I know you're supposed to use the white, but I really struggle to get it to go through, so I use the grey plate. And since I've started using the grey plate, I don't have any trouble. I'm just going to need to cut that down. And hopefully I can get two out of this. Yep. Just about. I love my little one, my mini one. It's not as heavy as the bigger one. Let's just see if I need to go through again. Nope, that's perfect. So that's two, and then I think I need a couple more, and the medium one. So I'm sorry about this. I think I've got enough on the other sampler, but I knew I was short of a couple. I just forgot to get them out. What colour bow should we have? Should we have a red bow? Oh, let's have a rose gold bow. No, that's, oh, there's a bit. Never throw anything away, me. Can I get it out of that? Yes. And I need some more. I need some more adhesive strips. These are great. They make life so much easier once you can get the backing off. There it is. Okay. So same thing again, I'm just going to run a couple through. I put my bow a bit further forward. Sticking to my fingers. Here we go. Right, and then get two more. Just, yeah, that one's out. Just get this one out. And if you kind of turn them at a bit of an angle, then I know I can get two out of the same bit. There we go. And I think I needed a medium as well, didn't I? So hopefully, if I move that one over there, try and get this one out as well. Right, fingers crossed. Where's my plate gone? There it is. Go read it. Hopefully this is the only bit of die cutting you have to sit and watch me doing. There we go. I don't think I've got the edge there, so I need to come back. There's my bow. And let's get this out of the way. Right. So I've got one there. Got my lights. Honestly, I don't know why I always end up getting in such a mess. That's my wheel. I'll put my dies back before I lose them. Oh, I dropped the bow the other day. Oh, can you imagine trying to find that? It's tiny on the floor. I'm really lucky I've got like a magnetic wand, and I was waved it around the floor, and fortunately it found it. I was gutted to think that I might have lost it. Right, that's another tree. And that's the medium tree. Okay. So hopefully I won't make you sit through any more die cutting. Hopefully I've got enough now. Let's just pop those out. And what I tend to find is you can use the little die brush to get the inserts out. But particularly when you've got the adhesive sheets on the back, what I find is when you peel that off, it takes a lot of the inside bits away with it, which is really handy. So let's try that now. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. Lovely. I think I'm okay. So basically, you saw me die cut, and then I'm just going to peel the adhesive sheet off. I find it easiest to get away from the top, and it doesn't sort of rip. And you can see it's pulling out all the inside bits there, so that's great. And then I'm just going to line it up on my tree. I'm just going to put it down so it's easier to and then it kind of goes inside the wiggles on the tree, and just before you press it down, you can just, goes quite far down actually. Caught me out the first time I did it too high up. Just got an insert bit there to get out. There we go. Right, so that's number 1. I'm going to get rid of my rubbish as I go because it's going to go everywhere otherwise. Right, that's 1. It's a beautiful autumnal day here. The sun is shining. It was pretty chilly this morning, but it's nice now. And it's just one of those days, there's hardly a cloud in the sky. Beautiful. And there's a tree across the road from me where I can see it's just starting to turn gold. The leaves, actually they go red. I don't know if it's an English maple tree or whatever, but it does go lovely. The only problem being if we get strong winds, they get blown off really quickly. Not too far over on that. So if you haven't pushed it down, you are able to lift it back up and just kind of rearrange. Okay. That's number 2. Number 3. And this is soft succulent. I absolutely love these in colours. So we've only got about 8 months of them left, so I'm making the most of them. And I just think they complement each other to lighten the dark green. Okay, number 3. Can you imagine trying to put wet glue on these to get them to stick? It would just be torture. Stray bit of washi tape. Right, now I've just got the little one, which I kept to show you, but you've seen quite a few now, so I don't think you need to see any more. Medium one and the little one. And we'll start putting it together. I have to say, I think these make great home decor, home decor. I don't know how you say it, and great gifts as well. So here we go. And last but not least, the baby one. Don't know why that didn't pull those bits off for some reason. Let's get them off before we... So that's the only problem, is you end up with sticky fingers. And the frame that I've got it in from IKEA, they're so cheap, they're ridiculous, but it's perfect size. That bit doesn't want to come out. Gotcha. Right, okay. So last one, and we can go back to putting them together, the sampler together. I'm glad I allowed an hour now. I didn't think it was going to take me, but it's taken me half an hour just to do this one. But as I said, I'm pretty sure I've got everything for the next one. I know, famous last words, tweezers. There we go. Stuck to me. Right, now where's my caravan? Let's put that together. Camper van, as the Americans call it. So that's the roof. And there are like score lines to show you where to line it up. You can see those. There. Top and the bottom, and it's kind of cut out a bit where the door would be. And I have also done it in black, the wheel and the tow bar, just kind of, I don't know, a bit of contrast. So if you spend £25 in my online store and you'd like the make and takes, I will die cut everything for you, and it will have the adhesive sheets on the back, so you won't have to glue anything. Here we go. Right. And now this one hasn't got adhesive sheet on, so I'm just going to pop a tiny bit of glue, and I always think it goes where the widest bit is. I don't know, can't really tell. That doesn't seem like a right shape to me, but anyway. Right, so just a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of wet glue. For the bow, and then we'll let that dry. And oh, I didn't push it. Oh, maybe it hasn't got adhesive sheet on it. Just got a bit of glue on that. No, it hasn't. Must have been the end of the sheet. Right, so my camper van, let's get rid of all this bits we don't need. So my camper van is going to go here. Now what I used was a tiny bit of cellophane. Now I did have a bag that was already ripped, but I'll just cut. So what I'm going to do is just, because I wanted to cover the door and, in fact, that bit there, the flap, I think will do. I mean, you can use vellum, but I want you to be able to see the designer series paper through. Let's just trim that off. My husband thought there was broken glass on the floor the other day, and it was a bit of cellophane that I'd cut. I had obviously stuck to me and then fallen on the carpet, and he thought it was broken glass, bless him. There we go, get rid of that. And I'll just need to pop a little bit of seal to hold that down. Okay, and then you've got your window. So I'm basically recycling, and then we'll pop that up on some dimensionals. And that's going to have a medium evening evergreen tree next to it. Right, here we go with the dimensionals. I think I'm going to need a mini one that side, there's not much space. So one there, and one there. Okay, that should be enough. And you see that now looks like a curtain through the windows. So here we go. Get rid of these dimensional backings. They'll stick to me. Right, and then it's a medium evening evergreen tree, which just needs the one big dimensional at the bottom. And then I'm going to pop some wet glue under the top bit, just to hold it in place. I'm just going to hold that for a second. Okay, so that is that window done. Now on the top right is going to be a large evening evergreen, a medium soft succulent, and a small soft succulent. So the first one I'm going to put down is the large one, and then I'm going to kind of arrange the other two at the side of it. Slightly to one side. Then the baby one going to be halfway up there. Maybe that's a bit too high actually. Just bring it down a fraction. There we go. And in soft succulent, a medium one. And I'm just wanting to have the dimensionals on this side because it's going to overlap the large one, like that. Okay, so there's my second, and then I've got alternate evening evergreen. And a soft succulent there, like that. And then we have the two medium and the little. Three medium actually. No, yeah, that should be soft succulent, but never mind. Let's go with what we've got. So I'm going to glue with dimensionals these ones first. Big dimensionals. And if you can see, I'm sort of staggering because I don't, especially if you're going to post it to someone, you kind of don't want it to sag in the middle. Like the Great British Bake Off's just started, we don't want any soggy bottoms. To use Paul Hollywood's analogy. So I'm going to do the two end ones, and then I can kind of fit everything around them. Right, here we go. And then I'm going to do my middle one. That's just how I find it easier to line them up. It's like when you're kind of doing names or alphabets. Line everything up and then start with the... so that one is going to be the one that's highest point. And then we'll have the two soft succulents in between. They're just sort of overlapping, and because of where I'm putting the dimensionals, they're not getting in the way. I know I'm using quite a few dimensionals on this, but needs must. Okay, and then we have the mediums and the baby, or maybe 2 mediums and the baby. So these ones are just going to have dimensionals at the bottom and then be stuck to the trees that they're leaning on. Let's get all these backings out of the way, do them in one go. I think I'm going to go with one big one at the bottom. No, that didn't work. I need a small one, I think. I'm going to double up because I think it's because it's over the edge. It's not reaching, it's not touching the card. So I'm just going to double those up. That's better. There we go. And I'll do the same with this one. And last but not least, the baby. Okay, and there's sampler number 1. Oh, no, it's not. Sorry, I haven't put my my gold fairy lights. I haven't put them on. Now, did I have? Yes, I've got adhesive on this. Excellent. On the first one I did, I used the foam, but it really was too thick. So I just went with it, doing it flat. Now I'm probably going to need to cut this. I'm going to have it overlapping there. And I'm just going to cut that bit there. And then that is where we put our wreath and bow. So I apologise, it's taken 45 minutes to do the first one, but I think that's because I had to do that extra die cutting, so I do apologise, but hopefully the next one will be a lot quicker. And my wreath and bow should be dry now. And that's just going to go around the door like that. So just a teeny tiny bit of glue. That's probably too much. And there you go, there's sampler number 1. So that's it in the frame, but you don't need to have it in a frame, and I just love it. So I'm just going to get the second one out to use as my template and clear my desk a bit. Let's pop that up there. Right, now I need a Stampin' Seal Plus replaced. Good job, I've got some on order coming on Wednesday. Got stuff sticking to me everywhere. Right. Okay, so now I have a brand new Stampin' Seal Plus. And I still have dimensionals. And hopefully I won't be doing any more die cutting because I've got it all ready. So let's see. So again, it's an 8x8 piece of evening evergreen. Oh, look at that. I've obviously cut into my soft succulent, 8x8 soft succulent, 6x6 designer series paper. And then I have my 2.5 by 5 3/4 evening evergreen and designer series paper of fraction, and then I have my 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, 2.5 by 2.5, and I just need a large bit of evening evergreen, which I'm nearly out of actually. Oh no, still have some. So what did we say this was? 7? I think it's 6 1/4. So let's do that anyway. What I'll do is I'll do 6 1/2 to start with, and then I can trim it down if I need to. I love my trimmer. The other day my my scoring tool fell off and I was completely lost without it. But that's not quite true. I did use another scoring tool, but I did miss it. So is that too big? Yes, so it must be 6 1/4. Gosh, I've got a bad. That's better. 6 1/4 by 6 1/4. And it has this no, well, you could hang it up on a nail, but I've got a bit of string to hang up there. So right, here we go. That's my base. Let's get the base done first. Do love this designer series paper. And then we'll pop that onto the soft succulent. So make sure I've got that straight. There we go. And I've just got a little bit of adhesive coming through there. There we go. Okay. So the same thing, I'm going to line up my base. So Evening Evergreen and Evening Evergreen Designer Series paper. Evening Evergreen and Evening Evergreen Designer Series paper. Evening Evergreen and Soft Succulent. So I'm going to do exactly the same thing. I'm going to start with this one. Just getting all my matting and layering done. So we want the stars there, the dots there, and they've got to line up with that one. Did you see what happened there? It got caught on my, you have to really push hard to make sure you don't do that. I might just have messed my, no, that's it, okay. Get that on, lined up with that. Come on, please work. I'm going to use my Tombow. Whoops. And I want my dots vertical. we go. And last but not least, there we go. So now I need to get out all my bits and pieces. And hopefully we've got everything we need in here, even the tiny little ribbon that doesn't want to come out. That's it. And now I've got my tire and my tow bar stuck. Here we go. Right. So there's my string of lights in the gold. It's not exactly distressed gold, but it's not kind of glimmer gold. I don't really know how you would describe it. Now there I've got a bit of vellum, so I can either use that or I could do the cellophane. I did the cellophane on that one. Now let's just check where we are with the trees. That's my large one. Now this is the only thing I won't be able to do for you, is because I'm not allowed to send you any stamped images. So you would either just need to leave the sign blank, or to have the stamp set and put, or a stamp set that you've got and put a different sentiment on. That's the top and bottom of my caravan. That's my wheel and my tow bar. That's my bow. That's my curtain. And you know what, I think I'm missing the wreath, but it obviously went in the wrong pot, but I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just going to go with these. So that's my big one, that's my medium one, and that's my small one. Caravan, small one, medium one, large one, dog, and sign. Now what I did was I cut the sign out with the die in the white glimmer, and then I stamped the stamped sign, which has got adhesive sheets on the back, which says trees for sale. And then all I did was I cut it down so that because you can't, well, I've never been able to successfully stamp onto glimmer paper, so I just thought this was the easier option. So I'm kind of just fussy cutting around the sentiment. And the stamps the, so I've just cut onto, sorry, stamped onto basic white in evening evergreen, and basically the stamps the background, and then the word, the sentiment is in the original, whatever the original cardstock colour is, which is obviously the white. It's very clever. I hadn't realised that till I actually used it, because I thought I was stamping the sentiment, and then I realised that I wasn't. I was stamping the background. So when I stamped onto evening evergreen, I couldn't read it. And then just bottom bit there. Okay. And the adhesive sheet is on the back. Let's get that off. Okay. I'm going to layer everything, and then I can put it all together. Hope that's okay. Won't be, probably going to overrun by about 5–10 minutes. And I'm not going to make you watch me die cut a wreath. I'll just leave it without, and I used it on the wrong one, so that's okay. Right, so that's my big one that goes there. And I'm going to do the trees first, and then I'll do the caravan. Now that one is only sticky at the top, but obviously, so I'm just going to put a teeny tiny bit of wet glue. Right, and that's going to go there. Oh, need that to stick down first. Hang on. It's going to go there. My little one's going to go there. Right, okay, so I think that's all the trees. So there's a lot less trees on this one, which makes things a bit quicker. And see, this is the one where I did the, I used the foam sheets, but actually you can see kind of the foam sheet. So I thought it better just to do it in the gold. Hopefully I've got adhesive sheets on the back. Yes. But I am missing a wreath. So I apologise. Your tutorial will correctly reflect which one the wreath should have, because the other one actually has a stand holding up the lights. So I want this to go from the edge to the middle. Okay, and then the other one. So that's going to go under the tree. And kind of the reason you have the wreath is to where they join up. Okay. So back to the camper van. So I've even got a spare tree now. Right, that one's just going to go on flat. I'm going to do the flat ones because they will be nice and quick. And then that one's going to go on with dimensionals. That one's on flat. This one's going to go on with dimensionals. This one's going on with dimensionals. as is my sign. And my little puppy. Now on him, I just did a chalk marker eye, but it's kind of unnecessary really. So I'll just leave the little ones for him. How are we doing for time? Overrun by 8 minutes so far. No, I'm going to need that one. Right, so that tree needs dimensionals. And I think that's all the trees done, and I've just got to do the camper van. Okay, spare tree, camper van. That will be going on with dimensionals, so I don't need my glue anymore. I think with the gold, all you need to do is, I probably only run it through once, and it just, because it's got adhesive sheet on the back, it just probably needs to go through again, just to, but it's fine once you get the kind of the scored bit, you can work out where it goes. Can't seem to get that bit out. I know, I'm going to pull the acetate off, the sticker adhesive sheet off, and then hopefully it will come away. Still hasn't quite come away. There we go. Bottom and top. Okay, let's get this lot out of the way. I think a load of it's just gone on the floor. Never mind. Right. Then this one, I've got a bit of vellum. So we'll do that just so you can see the difference. But first I need to put my curtain. So I need a very, very, very tiny piece of glue along there. And I want the glimmer bit to stick, so glimmer doesn't like glue very much. Oh yes, lovely jubbly. Right, and then the vellum will just go along there. Just need to trim that a bit. Yeah, so I'm just going to pop some glue and there you go. Right, so let's get some dimensionals on the back of that. Pop a camper van in the middle there. And last but not least, I've got my wheel. Which is sticky. Oh, I need to wash my hands, I think. I might pop a mini dimensional under there. So, and my tow bar. Now I have got a bit too much glue on that, so I'm just going to put my adhesive wobbler. Oh, that's why there was two sticking to each other. There we go. It's better. Okay, that's it. All done. I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks very much for watching. Take care. Bye for now.